The ozone layer is a layer that protects the Earth from the radiation of the sun. Now, the ozone layer is very important. Without it, life cannot exist. Scientists predicted that the ozone layer would be completely depleted by 2050, which would collapse the ecosystem. The radiation would make skin cancer more frequent and jeopardize life on many levels. This was all in the 80s people talked about. This invisible layer that separated the Earth from space, but these days no one talks about it anymore. Why? Well, we found the answer. Hi, this is Economic Stories and we're here with a tale. Now, the ozone layer is a thick layer of oxygen that absorbs radiation and UV rays from the sun. It's an invisible shield, a very strong one, but fragile at the same time. In 1985, scientists discovered a massive puncture on the ozone layer above Antarctica. 40% of the layer was gone, exposing the Earth to the harmful rays of the sun. Scientists at the time found out that the hole was formed during the spring, and every year it was expanding by 40%. Susan Solomon, an atmospheric chemist, was very scared to learn about this. She wasted no time and gathered a team and headed to the Antarctic in 1986. The team started assessing the damage in the crippling temperatures. The team was then divided into sections testing everything from the air, land, and atmosphere. They all came up with the same issue: chlorine, a man-made compound named chlorofluorocarbon or CFC. Now, these compounds have no danger on the ground, but once they start ascending to the stratosphere, the heat from the sun breaks these compounds down to chlorine. The chlorine then forms a chemical bond with the ozone to create oxygen and chlorine monoxide. This does not stop here. The loose oxygen atoms merge with other oxygen atoms, removing chlorine from the chlorine monoxide atoms, and then the chlorine atom attaches itself to other atoms of oxygen in the ozone layer to create this chain of breaking the ozone molecules. Now, the CFCs are already sabotaging the ozone layer. And back then, CFCs were everywhere. Perfume, air conditioners, styrofoam, aerosprays, refrigerators, and every house had all of these. The world needed to make a huge change if it stayed the same. Then Earth would soon be like just another planet. 1987, and the ozone layer was halfway there. This event meant we had to do something and do it fast. There was no time on Earth without the ozone layer, meaning that the radiation from the sun would cause skin cancer to just about anyone, and the threat was already being gauged and foreseen. And then, to spread awareness, soon it was everywhere. Ozone was added to movie and television scripts, and press conferences were held. It was a very big thing those days, and the public had to hear this to stop using things that emit CFCs. Then on the 16th of September 1987, the Montreal Protocol was established on the substance that depletes the ozone layer. This was made official. The letter said, the parties to this protocol being parties to the Vienna Convention for the protection of the ozone layer. The letter also listed the control measures on how to reduce ozone-depleting substances in a series of steps. This included aids, subsidies, guarantees, and insurance programs to developing countries for the use of alternative technologies that would replace the technologies that emitted these ozone-depleting compounds. The ozone layer is no longer growing, but now it's healing and repairing itself. It's estimated that by 2055, it will be completely healed. The problem is solved, but not completely. Now the CFCs were replaced by HFCs or hydrofluorocarbons. HFCs do not pose any risk to the ozone layer, but they are still a greenhouse gas. This means the world is not getting any radiation from the sun, but the heat is trapped inside the Earth's atmosphere. Climate change is starting to become a huge problem now. People are dying, the ecosystem is failing, glaciers are melting, and the world is much hotter than how it used to be. The small shift is causing a huge change, sabotaging the planet. Now, problem solving is more efficient when the 3 Ps are met, as said by Susan Solomon: personal, perceptible, and practical. But climate change is gradual, and it is often not perceptible. We cannot feel how much of it has changed, but recently it's become more obvious, and so the public is taking it to the streets to demand a better future for the planet and the future generation. I would like to conclude the video by saying, I hope that one day we can make a video saying, why is no one talking about climate change anymore? Thank you so much for watching. If you're new to the channel, please consider subscribing and hitting that notification bell if you're watching videos like this.